Happy Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. It's Motivated Entrepreneurs, and we have a wonderful, wonderful little story for you today that actually I disagree with, but we'll come to that in a minute. Right, Motivated Entrepreneurs, we're going to have a newsletter, a daily newsletter. I know the power of this podcast. And not the power of it, that sounds so goofy. I know that people get a lot out of this podcast. I get a lot out of personally doing it as well. And so, what I'm going to do is, you know me, when I'm talking, I tend to say the same point over and over again, and I reaffirm it in a different way, reaffirm it. I just babble a lot. And so writing something out might be better, might be worse, but it's certainly going to be different. It's certainly going to add a string to the bow. It's going to be different to the podcast as well. So every single goddamn day, I'm going to be doing a newsletter. So we don't know when it's coming out. I think it's going to start from next Monday. So stay tuned. Next Monday, hopefully, is when we're going to release it. And it's going to release with a bang. Great episode. But I'll tell you more about that later in the week. Okay, so Tuesday morning, here we go. There's a billionaire. This was on a podcast. I think it was on the Disruptors podcast with Rob Moore. I could be wrong, but he was interviewing a billionaire, and this billionaire was telling him a story saying he was walking down the street with his mum, and they see a penny on the floor. They walk past it. His mum then knocks him and says, "Aren't you going to pick that up?" And he said, that's why it's kept him grounded, because even though he's a billionaire, his mum still expects him to have the grit of somebody with no money. She told him, don't forget where you came from, blah, 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 blah. So this billionaire walked back and actually picked up his penny off on the floor. And I love the sentiment. I love the story. But do I agree with it? I don't think I do. I agree with the sentiment. Let's get that straight away. And I don't think it's about the penny. I think it's about not wasting things and not taking things for granted. So yes, I get that side of it. It's keeping you level. It's keeping you grounded. But would I walk? I walk past a penny on the floor all the time. Would I pick it up? No, I won't pick up a penny. I don't want a dirty penny in my pocket. But I love the sentiment. I love the way this billionaire told the story. And I love the way his mum keeps him firmly connected to his roots by your behavior. So for me, the story is about your behavior, not about the penny. It's about connecting and remembering who you are and where you came from and not changing because of external forces. So I love that story. I thought it was profound. I thought it was really, really good. Didn't necessarily agree with it, but I think it's an analogy for life. All right, my friends. Love you. Appreciate you. And we'll see you tomorrow.